In our scripture passages today, the first from 2 Samuel and the second from the fifth chapter of Mark's Gospel, we find ourselves in the first reading with David, and he's in the midst of profound pain. With all that's going around him, all of the chaos and the rest, he's centered on this one moment, the death of his son Absalom. And Scripture is very plain. It shows us the gut reaction of a parent who's lost their child, and he laments, oh, Absalom, oh, Absalom, if only I would have died instead of you. This is not some tidy, composed king. This is a daddy, a father whose love is still burning, even in the wreckage of all the betrayal and everything going on around him. The passage shows us that God is not afraid of pain, of showing us that even those who are anointed venture into this cauldron of pain, and it's there so that we can see everyone sometimes is hurt. Now, in the gospel for today, we see another set of desperate hearts. Mark tells us that one of the synagogue officials by the name of Jairus comes forward and asks Christ to come to his home because his daughter is near death. And on the journey there, Christ is surrounded by people, and suddenly he says, "Who touched me?" And his apostles, who they're aghast. "What do you mean? Look at all of the people." And he says, "No, power has come out of me." And he won't leave the moment until he is able to see within the person who touched him. He needs to see them face to face. And the woman who had suffered afflictions with hemorrhages for 12 years is a little bit frightened, because what she did in Jewish tradition was wrong, but she says it was her. And he says to her, "My daughter, you too are a child of Abraham. Go on your way, for you have been cured." He needs to see her face to face. It was her faith that heals her. Then he continues his journey to Jairus' house. And on the way, the message comes that Jairus' daughter is dead. "Do not be afraid," Jesus says. "Just have faith." He arrives and goes into the house, takes the child by the hand and says, "Talitha koum." "Little girl, I say to you, arise." Now, when we hold these passages together, David's lament in 2 Samuel, and the intertwined healings in Mark, we begin to see a path for our own fear, our own sorrow, our own pain. Scripture does not rush us past David's pain. It lets us sit there and understand that laments are fine in Scripture. It is a part of our life. Nor does it ignore the woman's long suffering or Jairus' terror as a parent. It honors every single tear, every year, every month of waiting, every moment when hope seems unreasonable. Yet, in the gospel, that some say that God has heard through David's cry the healing of this little girl. He lets power go out of himself for a forgotten woman and speaks life into a child everyone else already said was dead. So as we sit here together in our moment with silence with God and hear his Scripture, as we sit here with these sacred texts, we are not just listening to old stories. We are letting the living word name our fears and invite our faith. In David, we're given permission to grieve honestly. In Jairus and the hemorrhaging woman, we are given the opportunity to understand that we don't understand everything. We're shown what it looks like to fall at Jesus' feet and to reach for the hem of his garment when we have nothing left. The little girl, we see what can happen when Jesus takes us by the hand and says, arise. With that reverence for the word burning in our hearts, we turn in trust and say together with joy and faith and peace and sometimes lament, Lord, what are we going to do today?